Hi everyone! Welcome to today's Hobbii Happy Hour with moi, Louisa, and with the wonderful Matthias by my side. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you are all doing well. I hope that your week's been off to a good start, and we're just going to make it even better today with today's live shopping, I hope. Hi everyone. In case you don't know who I am, in case this is your first time watching, my name's Louisa. I have been at Hobbii for 4.5 years. I'm coming up on my 5-year anniversary, actually. Yeah, I have the great pleasure and privilege of hosting these little live shopping streams every week where I show you a selection of brilliant, brilliant yarns. I show you some ideas on what you can make with them. I give you some insights, some tips. And of course, you can get them at a special live shopping discount. The discount code this week is HAPPY40. That gives you 40% off the yarn. It's valid on the 12 yarns that we have in our selection today. It's valid for 24 hours starting now. So you've got 24 hours to shop starting right this second. So if you want, hop on over to the site and start shopping right away. We have a landing page. Matt is showing that to you right there, right now. And you can find all the yarns that we have linked there. To get to that landing page, you can, 1, follow the link that is in the video description on YouTube and Facebook. Follow the link that is linked in the chat on YouTube and Facebook. Or if you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, you can just type happy40 in the chat, and that'll also trigger a message sent to your inbox, which will have the link to the landing page. If you're joining us from the UK, if you're joining us from Sweden or Denmark, you actually have the option of just changing the domain at the top of the page so that it adjusts to your local country. Because yes, I have reactivated the Danish and Swedish pages after some of you asked after them last year. So yeah, that's how this works. In case there's any confusion or any uncertainties, ask away in the chat. I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm seeing Joanne joining us from Ontario, Canada. I hope you're having a great time in Ontario, Canada. I assume that your winters are rough. I assume that your winters are full of snow. We had new snow last night. Did I enjoy it? No, because today it wasn't that cold, which meant that I left my house. For some reason, the sidewalks had not been cleared. They never are. I don't know what they're doing. I live on a pretty big road and they don't clear the sidewalks. 1, wasn't cleared, but 2, because there had been a lot of new snow, it was just sludge that I was walking through, so it was just gross. Like, it wasn't even that, like, ooh, crunchy, I'm walking on new snow. No, it was just from the first moment I stepped out the door, it was like I'm, like, just wading through, like, gray sludge, and my shoes are getting, like, destroyed, and I'm not having a good time. So, you know, that's what I'm trying to say. It's very cold here. Yeah, we've had a cold front in sort of northern central Europe. It's been hit quite heavily by a cold front. So I think it's the first time in my living memory that Copenhagen and Malmö have had like snow that actually lasts for more than a week. I don't remember that ever happening in the like years I've lived here. I don't know. I mean, you probably have memories from childhood or something, but
yeah, teenagehood, yeah.
Yeah.
There has been, but it's the most in 10 years, I think. For
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Amber saying Gummistiefelwetter. Yeah, only if they're properly insulated, because just rubber boots isn't gonna cut it. Like, you also still need the warmth. I've been wearing ski socks in my boots for the last week because we get very mild winters here. So we get a little bit of snow every once in a while, but we don't really get proper like -degrees for 2 weeks in a row and snow every other day. We don't really get that here. So none of us have like real proper winter boots. Like when I went to Lapland last year, I wore my hiking boots and then I just wore like 2 pairs, 1 pair of wool socks, 1 pair of ski socks on top of each other to kind of like get a little bit extra warmth. So yeah, no, it's cold here in Alabama, says Joanne. So even all the way down in Alabama. But I hope you're still having a great time regardless. And yeah, and Kim is saying we had a lot of snow too in Holland. Not only did you have snow, you have also created one of my favorite videos. I don't know if you've seen it, Matt. There's a video, if you want to laugh at people falling, of Amsterdam, where it's like this this little canal street and a bridge. So it's an intersection, and it is everyone just sliding. It is cyclists sliding and falling off. It is cars sliding. It is pedestrians sliding. It is people on all fours sliding down the bridge because they couldn't walk walk it, so they decided to go on all fours, and they're still... It is very funny. It is also, I'm very glad no one got hurt, because it is also a bit concerning.
There's a guy, I think, who actually throws his bike up on the ice
Exactly.
and tries to
I was showing that to our Dutch colleague Alice today. I was like, Alice, have you seen the video from Amsterdam? She was like, yes, I have. But yeah, so that's happening. Oh, someone's asking about my shirt. So it's actually not Motorhead. I mean, it is, but it's Motterhead, because this is an otter. It's an otter pun. It's from a music festival that I went to last year, and their mascot for the year was an otter, and so they had this as part of their merch, and I just thought this was so funny. So this is technically speaking Motorhead, but it's also kind of Motorhead. So yes. And Kim is saying that video was so funny. Yes, it is. We do Schadenfreude very well, I think. So watching people slide around on the ice is quite entertaining. Alrighty. That's enough tangents for today. Let's get cracking with some live shopping. I've already told you we've got 12 yarns today. I've already told you we've got 40% off on those yarns. The code for that is happy40, which is valid for 24 hours. Good to know. That code replaces any other discounts on the yarn. So if there's a bulk discount, that is no more. You get 40% off starting at the first skein. So it replaces any other discounts. It's also not compatible with any other discount codes. In addition to that, we're going to do 2 giveaways today during the stream. We're going to pick 2 winners live from the chat. Each winner will receive a gift card worth $50 or equivalent in your local currency. So 50 monies on the line. 1 winner will pick halfway through. 1 winner will pick at the end. So there you go. That's how it's going to go. We've got a few amazing yarns, and we're starting off with the cottons and cotton blends today. The first yarn I have for you today is Fruta. Fruta is a delightful yarn made from 100% Pima cotton. It is super, super, super soft, and it is really nice and has a slightly thicker structure. It's a little bit thicker. It has a little bit more weight to it, which is lovely if you, like me, prefer to work with a slightly bigger hook or needle size. So let's take a closer look. As you can see here, very nicely twisted. I think it's a 2-plied yarn. And there you have the gorgeous, gorgeous colors. It is a print yarn, so you've got a kind of stripy look / just kind of blots of color in a pretty random pattern. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love the colors of this. You've got everything from the sort of neutrals to slightly more high contrast with more different colors and variations. Overall, the palette is very, very bright and friendly and just sort of, I think, quite sort of summery and quite just, you know, life-affirming. This is a life-affirming yarn, I would say. And I absolutely love it. You get 229 yards on one of these little cakes, and the recommended hook or needle size is a 4 to 5 millimeter, so it is a little bit thicker. Because it is such a lovely soft cotton quality, this yarn doesn't get super stiff unless you really work it up tightly. So despite being a thicker cotton yarn, it's still very suitable for nice clothing or for shawls or for other things that you would like to have that little bit of drape. And thank you, Amber, for complimenting my nails. I'm also very, very pleased with how they turned out. I don't do them myself. I have a lovely, lovely nail artist that I go to. If you are in Malmö, go to DV Nails. She's the best. Victoria is her name. Heidi is saying, but can they do Christmas colors? I don't know if that's ever going to be on the horizon, because I do think that Fruta was sort of conceptualized as a more summery yarn, but I hope I can tell you one exclusive tidbit, which is that I know many of you have asked multiple times if it would be possible to get a solid version of this yarn, and I found out today that that is in the works. So it's coming. It's coming. Fruta Solid. So, you know, just brace yourselves. Fruta Solid is on its way. Matt is showing you some samples here. So these are just knitted up samples to give you a better idea of what the yarn looks like. Because like I said, it is a print yarn, but the color changes are quite random, and there's a lot of variation and play in it. I always think of it as like almost like a camouflage pattern where it's just kind of changing around. So that is what Fruta looks like, and it comes in these sweet little cakes, which are just so lovely, great to work with, super, super soft. We do recommend that you wash this cold, and so the colors get preserved as best as possible, and this yarn is a Aran or worsted weight yarn. So I think, because I saw someone asking about that. Annette is saying that apparently anytime I say hook or needle, because I'm kind of slurring my words together, I guess it kind of sounds like I'm saying hook or needle, which, you know, I mean, if you crochet a lot, some might call you a hooker.
Because you hooked on it, of course.
Because you use a hook, yeah.
Yeah.
Proud hooker. That's me. All right, so that's
Put that on a caption.
I was genuinely just thinking, like, I kind of want a T-shirt that just says, like, yes, I am a proud hooker,
Yeah.
and then just has a like crochet hook on
That's
it.
great merch.
That is great merch. Hobbii should ask me to do the next merch collection.
Yeah.
It would only be these kinds of puns, though, and so it would be like a very niche group of people would be absolutely into it, and then. The Cozy District is asking, does it flat? Matt, what do you rate this?
That's a 2.
That's a 2 out of 10 flats.
Yeah,
Not
no.
really.
That's really flat.
A little too much structure for that. But it is 40% off right now if you want to use the code HAPPY40 and grab yourself some super, super soft, delightful cotton yarn. This is Fruta. There you go. Oh.
The darkness.
Yeah, it's like we've changed the lighting a little bit, but that just means, I mean, I guess I could show it here and that'll look fine. Yeah, there you go. This is what it's called. So gorgeous, gorgeous cotton yarn. And we do have, Anastasia saying, I have a bag that says, in my spare time, I'm a hooker. Love that. Love that. Oh, there's so many good puns you could make. Deborah saying that shirt already exists. Dang it. There goes my business idea.
You don't have to know that. You can do your own spin.
Yeah.
Do your own spin. You got it.
Amanda, I'm a hooker with an attitude. Oh, genius. Brilliant. Give me more. I want all of them. Hooker with an attitude that's a great slogan.
Yesterday,
That's the subtitle of my autobiography.
Regina and I, we came up with some puns as well yesterday for Valentine. And one of them was like, are you a yarn weight 3 because you're super fine?
Oh, I love it. You know, no, I can't say the other one that came into my mind. It was also related to a yarn weight, and that's all I'm going to say.
Is it? I mean, I think we might have said it.
Don't.
I think we might have.
Don't.
What are you thinking about?
I don't want to get in trouble. Nothing. Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
Sure.
Speaking of fingering weight yarns, I have cone 500 for you.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The next yarn I have for you is another 100% cotton yarn. This is an 8/4 cotton, and this is our cone 500. It is a lot of bang for your buck. It's a lot of yarn on one cone. You get 1,859 yards, that is 1.7 kilometers, on one of these guys. It is a fingering weight, and the recommended hook or needle size is a 2.5 to 3.5 millimeter. You can use this yarn for, I mean, pretty much anything you would want to use a superfine cotton yarn for. It is a great versatile yarn for any kind of project, from clothing to temperature blankets to loads of different accessories to amigurumis. Pretty much any of that could be done in this yarn. You can machine wash this at medium temperature or even high temperature. Just be advised that some colors may fade a little bit faster, but it's cotton, it's pretty durable, and it's pretty easy to take care of. These are the old cones that we still have in the studio. We are working on getting like our entire stash kind of replenished so that we can get all the new labels and all the new yarn shapes and everything. But just so you know, what I'm holding here is the older shape. They now come in a new and improved shape. Matt, do you want to quickly show them? what the cones look like. Now, they now look like this. So just so you know, what I'm showing you here is the old one, and now they look like this. They have lost some height and picked up some width, basically. They're now just a little bit more compact. So that is the... So I'm just saying my kids watch this stream.
They won't know.
They won't know. Or if they do, I mean, that's also fine. Matt's showing you the color palette for Cone right now, and after this I actually have a couple of cute little projects that I want to show you that you guys have made, both in Fruta and in the Cone yarn, to give you some ideas on what this yarn can be used for.
Did you see it?
Erica's comment? Yeah. I'm like, now I'm kind of questioning if I should read them out loud because they are very funny.
Okay, here goes cones.
Here's some cute projects. Oh yeah, we also have the Fruta one. I kind of put them together.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, I should have told you that.
I'll put them in
so
there.
Whenever it says pictures, that's actually for all the yarns above it.
I see. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But we have some projects made from Cone, and then in a minute we'll also have some made from Fruta to show you just some ideas on what you can make with it. This one I really liked, if you go back, sorry Matt, because a lot of times we do get asked for things like, oh, what could I make curtains out of? And I love that there is an example here that I can show you made out of the Cone 8/4. 8/4, by the way, just means it's a 4-ply cotton. That's actually quite simple to remember. Yeah, I can see the Cozy District's asking if there's a specific code for the cones today. No, so all items, all yarns in our selection are 40% off with the code HAPPY40. So you can just use that code for the entire selection for any of the yarns in it. And you don't have to buy all of them. You can just pick and choose whichever ones you want. So it's HAPPY40 for 40% off the cones today, if you want to check that out. And now Matt is also showing you some projects out of Fruta as well to give you some ideas. Breda saying, I just finished making dishcloths and pot holders with some cone yarn. We do actually have a set of dishcloths, I think, made from... Oh yeah, I think it was made from the cone. And those were woven, which is really, really cool. So... that is apparently also something that can be done with cones, so good to know. I generally love going into the user gallery just for my own, entertainment, but also whenever I prepare for these streams, because I know sometimes there will be questions coming up. So people will ask, well, is this suitable for XYZ? And a lot of times I'll know the answer because I know which patterns we have for it, or I know what I've used it for, or what other people have used it for. But sometimes I'm also kind of guessing, right? And it's always so cool when you then go into the user gallery and you actually see that someone has uploaded a picture of the exact thing that people are asking for. We used to get a lot of questions about tufting with a tufting gun. And none, because Hobbii doesn't really do any tufting related projects. The best way of finding out about it is to check if one of you has done it. So thank you to all of you who always upload your pictures. And I do hope that sometimes I actually accidentally show some of your projects as well in here, because that would be really, really fun. So yeah, Cone 500, 100% cotton, 40% off with our code HAPPY40 until tomorrow evening, our time. From here, we're moving on to our next few yarns, which are actually cotton blends. I have 2 different cotton blends. Both are cotton acrylic blends. You're so random.
What?
Gina saying the discount doesn't work with Fruta. It should.
I'm consistent.
Matt's testing it. Matt is testing it out to find out if it works on. It should work on Fruta. Okay, it's going to take you a while. Can you do it on the different browser? That might be faster. Okay, oh well.
Pretty fast.
Matt is checking on the codes to make sure that all the codes work in all markets. But it should work. It should work with Fruta. So. You are on the wrong in the wrong place. Oh yeah, no. Go down, where it says add discount.
Do you see?
Above the yarn. Can you tell I used to? Okay.
Under pressure.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, did I maybe schedule the code instead of? Oh, someone forgot to activate the code for US customers. I'm very sorry about that, guys. Matt's fixing it right now. So it's going to be, it is active now. So anyone in the US where it said the code doesn't work on Fruta, it works now. And look at this beautiful yarn. Don't worry about it. Look, it's gorgeous. This is Acacia, which is, as I said, a cotton acrylic blend yarn. It is super soft, with a super lovely color palette. All the shades of Acacia are slightly more muted. There's always a little bit of a sort of gray cast, but that doesn't sound super nice on it. So they're all this slightly more muted shades with just a lovely softness. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you this. This camera kept dying yesterday during the quiz.
Interesting.
I forgot to tell you that.
Something
ain't right. But we're trying.
I see now. It's okay.
Matt's fixing it. I'll tell you a little bit more about Acacia, and I can just. Oh, I can't show it. We need to the lighting. We need to figure out something because this isn't quite working how I want it to. That's fine. That's just what happens sometimes. This is a light worsted or DK weight yarn with a recommended hook or needle size of a 4 to 5 millimeter, and on one of these skeins you get 273 yards. It is 51% acrylic, 49% cotton. It gives you all the softness that you could want with really beautiful drape, and like I said, that slightly more muted color palette, which I personally really, really love. It can be machine washed at low to medium temperature and is therefore easy to take care of. Acacia is excellent for anything from blouses or sweaters or jackets to lovely shawls and projects like that. So great, easy to take care of, and just a lovely choice for all your apparel needs. Similarly, Friends Wheel is also an excellent choice. Friends Wheel is... Oh, it wasn't plugged in, so it wasn't charging?
I think it was plugged out at some point. I don't know why.
Probably when you reset the tripod, when you set it up again.
No, I didn't do that.
Like, didn't you? But you changed to the tripod yesterday, so...
Yeah, but I didn't unplug that one.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's fine now. It
Someone did. But yeah, Friends Wheel is another beautiful... Is it working now? Yeah. Another beautiful blend of cotton and acrylic. It is a sport weight yarn with a recommended hook or needle size. There we have another color of a 3 to 4.5 millimeter. All Friends Wheels come with an easy start tab. That's right. If you prefer to use your cakes from the inside, you can do it with this yarn very easily because the starting thread is marked for you in the center. The camera is tired, says Cheryl. Yeah, I guess it is. But yeah, we had the same problem yesterday with the main cam. It kept going off during the quiz. But it was connected. Like, that one was plugged in. I checked that. And I couldn't find the spare batteries, and then I just winged it, and it worked out. So it's all good.
And the quiz, of course, for German, because
this was the German quiz. Yes,
quiz on Thursday.
We have the German quiz on Mondays, but we have your quiz on Thursdays. And this Thursday, I already saw, what did you say it was going to be about scorpions?
No. That was just like because they kind of like spiders. But we will have the numbers quiz game will be a Will It Flat special. So 1 to 10.
It's a Will It Flat special edition quiz that's coming. That's a genius idea.
And you have to guess what I gave it. Because it's hard to really... The Cozy Just are saying, I wish all yarn came with an easy pull tab. I love it so much. I know. It's anytime I work with a yarn that doesn't have it, especially even on skeins like this, because I really, really like to pull from the center, especially because I work a lot while I'm commuting, and it's just more convenient to pull from the center, because then that way the skein stays put as you pull the yarn out, which is great if you have it in a bag and you're on a train or whatever. And then anytime I work with a skein where it doesn't have it, I always end up doing like my method, which is just to take it and flat it like this many, many times and then try to pull it out of the center. And it's always such a mess. So, you know. But yeah, back to Friends Wheel because we're not done talking about it yet. Like I said, sport weight yarn, and it is machine washable at medium temperature. Both of these are excellent choices. So both the Acacia and the Friends Wheel are excellent choices if you want something that has a nice softness to it. It has that sort of breathability of the cotton and still a little bit of that really nice drape and very soft texture. So both of these excellent choices. This one a sport weight, this one slightly thicker, this one's a DK weight. So excellent options. The Friends Wheel, of course, is part of our Friends collection, which means that the color numbers of this yarn are aligned with our other Friends yarns. That's the great thing about the Hobbii Friends palette. So let's say this is color 91, this gorgeous, gorgeous kind of bluish, tealish color that works really well with my nail polish. And this color will be the same across the entire Friends palette. So if you're looking to make something where you want to use, for instance, Friends Wheel for a nice shawl, but then you would like to make something from a different material that still picks up this color and matches it, just check if the color 91 is available in both, and then you'll have as good a color match as you can get with two different materials, because that's obviously something to keep in mind. Different materials will always take dye slightly differently, and so there will be a little bit of variation. But as close as you can get is with the Friends yarns. So this is Friends Wheel, part of today's deal, so 40% off with code HAPPY40. And for both the Friends Wheel and the Acacia, I have some patterns I wanted to show you. These are all free patterns that you can find on our website. We're starting with Acacia, and the first one we have for you is this gorgeous crochet pattern. This is the Spring Meadows tote bag. This beautiful, beautiful tote bag made of these floral granny squares. An intermediate level crochet pattern. I just think it looks so pretty. I love that it has the little bobble stitches that give it that 3D effect on the flower motif. And I just think it looks really, really cute. You could, of course, with these kinds of patterns, which is something I love about the modular nature of granny squares, is that if you like this, but you don't want to turn it into a tote bag because you already have too many of them or you don't really use them. I mean, this could also make a really, really cute little cushion cover, for instance. This could make a really, really cute little, is the code still not working? Yeah, do you need to change what it's valid on?
Oh, it wasn't even put to
no,
valid
like
on.
I obviously hadn't set it at all.
Okay,
sorry,
okay,
I thought you'd seen that.
No.
I would have said something otherwise. It's 03. No, week was, well, okay, you got it. And it's the, nope, it's the one where live is capitalized completely.
There.
That one.
We good?
Yes.
Boom. Should work now.
It's working now. Okay, guys, so sorry about that. This is again for our US customers. The live shopping code works now. Very, very sorry. I accidentally didn't set it up properly. But as I was saying about the modular nature of working with granny squares, so if you like the Spring Flowers tote bag that we just showed you, but you don't need a tote bag, you can just use that basic pattern and turn that into, for instance, a cushion cover or even like a cardigan or a blanket, depending on how advanced you are with your sort of designing capabilities there. And similar to here, this is the Alpine Sunflower bonnet. This is an adorable little bonnet with this cute sunflower motif. And again, if you like this design, but you don't know anyone that needs a bonnet right now, you could just make that square and then turn it into whatever other design you would prefer. I just think both of these patterns are super, super cute. The floral designs on both of them. And again, very easily turned into something else as well. But of course, if you are in the market for a bonnet or a tote bag, the entire pattern's right there for you as well. Both of them available for free, both of them on our website, and both of them are also linked on the landing page. So if you've gotten the link already in your inbox on Facebook, you can just hop on there and find the pattern there. You can also find it linked under Acacia. So if you go into our website actually and just pull up Acacia, you'll have even more patterns than the ones I showed you today linked right there for your convenience as well. So that is what we've got for Acacia. And then for Friends Wheel, I have two patterns I want to show you as well. both of them intermediate level crochet patterns. This first one is the Zoa shorts, a super cute pair of shorts for anyone that's now slowly starting to dream of beach days like I am, because this weather is really, really not conducive to my mental health. I am taking vitamin D, but these super cute summer shorts is a lovely intermediate crochet pattern. We also have this adorable top that you can combine with it. This is a knitted top. This is a beginner friendly pattern, and it is the bonbon top. So bonbon, like candy in French. The bonbon top, a beginner friendly knit pattern for a cute little summer top with a little bow detail on the shoulders. The Cozy District is asking, am I the only one who's not getting the code link? It may not work. So there are a few reasons that we can't send out the, we can't really send out codes to everyone, or not, well, we can't send out links to everyone. It has a lot to do with the sort of the way Meta tries to honestly protect you from getting spammed by messages. So if you haven't opted into any of our messages in the past, for instance, then we're limited in what we can send you. If you have your privacy settings set quite strictly, then we're limited in what we can send you. However, the message is the link is linked in the video description of this video as well as in the chat, so you can find it there. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't advise.
Oh, it's for someone in Germany.
Oh, but then they should just see it. I mean, yeah, I guess you can. Where was I? I've lost my train of thoughts, but that's fine. Those were 2 ideas on what you can make with our Friends Wheel and Acacia. And with that, we're moving on to our next few yarns, because the next ones we have coming up are the fluffy ones. And I'm going to pass these over to you, Matt, and then you can hand me the fluffy ones. Thank you. Oh. Merci. Okay. I was like, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm like, whenever there's a lot of activity in the chat, it's like I briefly get distracted because then I want to see, like, I also want to make sure that I don't miss any questions. Yeah, so sorry about that. Let's get back on track because, yeah, like I said, I have some fluffy yarns for you as well. So all of you who love a bit of fluff in their projects, listen up now. We've got Mohair Delight and we've got Fluffy Day. Mohair Delight is a 50-50 blend. This is 50% mohair and 50% acrylic. This is my favorite color that we have. It's color 21, but the camera doesn't love it, so I'm gonna switch to this one. This is color 23. As you can see, it is quite bulky for a mohair yarn. So this is a worsted or Aran weight yarn. Recommended hook or needle size is a 5 to 6 millimeter. And like I said, it's a 50-50 blend of acrylic and mohair. So you get all the fluffiness of mohair, but where a lot of mohair yarns that we offer are lace weight yarns, this one is much thicker. So you can work it up on its own. You don't need to bulk up your mohair thread in order to work with this. So you don't need to use it as a double-stranded, or you need to use it double-stranded or with another yarn. You just have it all for it all.
Squirrel!
What?
Squirrel! It's just a Judy saying
squirrel. Oh. I saw the French comment. I was like,
like the dog from Up, you know? Do you remember?
No. The only thing I remember from Up is how hard the first 10 minutes of that movie make me cry, which is why I cannot rewatch it.
Yeah,
it's one of the, I mean, I've watched Up a few times, but still, it breaks me emotionally so hard. If you react strongly to things, the first 10 minutes of Up are heartbreaking. I think there's few things actually that make me cry as hard as that.
Oh, I have the Land Before Time.
Oh yeah, that too.
That's a pretty sad one.
That too. Oh man, we're like, Dude, we're bringing down the vibe so badly right now. It's like
yeah.
I don't know. I'm so easily distracted today, everyone. I'm so sorry. Mohair Delight benefit. You get all the fluffiness of the mohair, but you get one slightly thicker thread. You get a very nice color palette with, again, some of these more muted shades, but then you get these pops of color in there as well. It is suitable for a slightly bigger hook or needle size, so 5 to 6 millimeters. So again, perfect if you want to kind of get going pretty quickly, and it's gonna just delight and inspire everyone. Matt's showing you the color palette for the yarn right now, so you can check it out. If you are sensitive to the kind of, fluffy texture of the mohair, then you can, no. Now people are all commenting movies that make them cry. And I will say the very, very worst film in terms of emotionally devastating me to a degree where if I see the title recommended somewhere, part of me wants to interject and say, don't do it to yourself, is Grave of the Fireflies. I was not prepared for that film. I think genuinely it upsets me to think about it, it's a great movie though. If you can stand it, it's great, but don't do it to yourself.
I think for me it's gotta be like Avatar 3. No, I'm kidding. It's very sad.
Avatar 3 as a palate cleanser, like. Oh man. Let's look at some yarn to distract ourselves from all these sad things.
Like Avatar 3.
Like Avatar 3. Oh, I haven't even watched Avatar 2.
It's very sad. They kill a bunch of whales. Actually, it is sad, but I didn't cry.
Now I can't think. Now I'm thinking of the video I sent you.
Oh.
The whales, exquisite. Oh.
Have you ever seen the Ryan Gosling skit where he talks about the
about the font, about how it's papyrus? Yeah,
it's
I
papyrus.
have. Yes, I have. I love how you're like, have you ever seen the one where it's like, I am chronically online. Yes, I have. Yes, I have seen it. You know what else I've seen? Fluffy Day. Do you know what I have a lot of at home? It's still also Fluffy Day.
Woo.
Love this yarn. So again, you want the fluffiness of mohair, but maybe you are sensitive to it. Mohair Delight is incredibly soft for mohair yarn. It's also a much lower percentage of mohair than a lot of other yarns, so here you get 50-50. But if that's still too much for you, and you love the fluffiness of it though, then Fluffy Day could be a great option for you. Fluffy Day is 100% acrylic, so you still get the fluffy texture. It looks mohair-like, but there is none of it in the yarn actually. It is it's a similar yarn weight. It's also a worsted or Aran weight yarn. You have a recommended hook or needle size of 5 to 6 millimeter, and it is machine washable at medium temperature. So really, really lovely, easy to take care of, and gives you all the fluffiness whilst, again, only one thread, so you don't have to work with multiple strands of yarn, and nice and soft and free of actual mohair. It's got a gun, again, similarly, actually, I think these yarns are kind of almost made to be sort of dupes for each other. So if you would like actual mohair, use the Mohair Delight. If you're sensitive to it or prefer to work without it, then Fluffy Day, because they have kind of a similar color palette as well, and are both really, really lovely to work with. I have a lot of Fluffy Day at home actually still, because I was gonna make a vest out of it like 3 years ago, and then it was one of those projects that I was really excited about, and then it just went nowhere. I'm kind of thinking that I will eventually get around to like making a list of all the yarns I need to like use up this year, and then find cool patterns for them. Debbie's asking, what is mohair? What animal does it come from? Well, ain't that a lovely question that we have that may or may not pop up on our quiz randomly sometimes. Mohair is made from the pelt or the wool of the Angora goat. So it's a goat fiber. Actually very funny, it's called an Angora goat. The yarn you make from it is called mohair. And then you might say, well, but there is also a yarn called Angora. That's correct. That comes from the Angora rabbit, which is named after the goat. So now you've had a little bit of an insight into where different fibers come from. What else you might want an insight into is what can you actually make with these yarns? Matt, do we have any projects we can show?
Oh, we do.
We do. First up, Haven made a super sweet little terrier and used the Mohair Delight for it, and it looks so cool. And I
So
think that is
that is
such a cool use of the yarn. It looks a little bit like from the Wes Anderson movie, Isle of Dogs.
I see that.
It has a little bit of that style.
It's very realistic for
Yeah,
sure.
it's super cute.
Wow.
But yeah, you can of course use it for any kind of super cozy clothing. You can use it for fuzzy projects, accessories, scarves or shawls. Both are okay. Debbie's like, oh, I felt silly asking that. No, don't feel silly. It is a cool fact to know, but it's definitely not one that everybody knows. It's just that we've had that question on the quiz in various iterations over the years, because whenever I can't think of a question, it's one of my go-tos. Is always like, did you know that mohair is actually made from Angora goats? So no, do not feel silly. None of us knew that until we learned it. So, you know. But yeah, here are some super cute ideas on what you could make with either Fluffy Day or Mohair Delight to give you a little bit of inspiration. Alrighty, so these fluffy yarns are both 40% off if you use our code HAPPY40. The code always expires 24 hours after we start the stream, so it's whatever time that is for you locally, because I know you're joining us from so many different time zones. It's always a little bit hard to keep track of what time that is exactly for you, but it's 24 hours from when we start the stream that you have to shop. And Marianne saying, nothing wrong with asking questions, that's how we learn. Exactly. That's also why I'm here. The whole point of me is to give you these kinds of insights, or to help you with these kinds of things. So it's more like, it'd be kind of bad on me if I didn't know, honestly, because I should. I am, after all, you know, an expert on these things. All right, this is half the yarns that we have for our selection today. And that means we're now at the halfway point of the show. And that means it is now time for our first giveaway of the night. We are now picking a winner from the chat on both Facebook and YouTube. To participate, all you have to do is just type hashtag Hobbii Live in the chat, spelt the way it is spelt right here next to me, hashtag Hobbii Live in the chat, for your chance to now win a gift card worth $50 or equivalent in your currency. You've got 2 minutes to get typing. It's more than enough to just type it once. You don't have to type it multiple times. It'll only count you once. So hashtag Hobbii Live in the chat for those of you who want to participate in our giveaway right now for a chance to win a $50 or equivalent in your currency gift card. As I put it in the script it always says 50 monies. So 50 monies is what you can now win. And I can see loads of Hobbii Live on the chat. Woo!
When did you last cry to a piece of media?
Oh, good question. I don't know. It's been a while. I don't remember.
Not the hockey show?
No.
No.
That was delightful. If you haven't watched Heated Rivalry, do yourself the favor and watch it. It's delightful. Matt has had to listen to me talk about Heated Rivalry for like a month and a half now, like ever since like November. I'm like, Matt, you don't understand. And then yesterday I came in and like, I think the first thing I said to him is January 23rd, it's when it's coming out on HBO Nordic. And it's like, it's coming.
Yeah.
You need to watch. It did not make me cry though, but I don't cry when things are like great or happy, or also I've read the book, so I knew what was happening, so I was like, it's fine. I know what happens. No, I'm trying to think like last time I cried over media. I don't know. You know what's been like what's been actually making me cry a lot is whenever I watch like reels on Instagram and there's like a cat that was abandoned by the side of the road. Like that, that's currently, I think, the thing that makes me cry so hard.
That's also a classic.
Yeah. That, or like, yeah, anything that involves a cute little animal. When's the last time you cried over a piece of media?
I think it was, I don't do it very often at all, but I think if you know the song 4th of July by Sufjan Stevens.
Yes, I do.
I cried when I heard that the first time.
Oh, that is a beautiful song, though.
I mean, it's just sad.
That is also
that he's talking to his mom on her deathbed.
It is also but he does a lot of like tearjerker music in general. But it is beautiful. We've got our first winner, and it is Kathy Burney Kale. Congratulations! Congratulations, Kathy. You are winner number 1 tonight. You will receive a gift card worth 50 monies. Please, Kathy, send us an email to the following email address. It is live@hobbii.com. Send us an email so that we can send you your gift card. Congrats, Kathy. We will have a second. Did Matt activate the code for the US? It should. Yes.
I mean, it looked activated
before. It looked activated.
It's through there and maybe, I don't know. We'll check.
Yeah, but maybe also try it on the website one more time to be sure.
Yeah. You know what? That's the first one.
Because that's exactly. It's always check if you can replicate the problem.
I'll remove this. Just to
start over with a clean slate. We're trying it out.
Yeah.
We're checking. I'm like, why are things not working the way they're supposed to? Yeah, it works. Okay, yeah, it is activated for the US, and it should work for either. The 30% you see is the bulk discount, but if you go to the actual field and type in Happy 40, as you need to actively type in the discount code, it'll then take away the bulk discount and replace it with 40% off. So just make sure that you put the code in manually to make sure that it activates. Alrighty. With that, we're moving on. I'm just seeing that it's still... With that, we're moving on to the second half of the yarns that you can get at 40% off today with our code Happy40. Starting off strong with Tweet Dreams, as well as Tea Time. 2 more yarns with interesting color changes. Both of these are 100% acrylic. We're starting off with Tweet Dreams, which is a yarn that has a really interesting print because it's a print that sort of mimics the kind of tweet style with like little flecks of color. So looking at it right now, you can see right here, these little pops of color are just printed onto the yarn. So where a classic tweed yarn would actually have these kind of little nubs added on, you don't have that here, so these do not come off, but it gives you a kind of similar color effect when worked up. It's made from 100% acrylic. The yardage is just under 110 yards, and it has a recommended hook or needle size of a 4.5 to 5.5 millimeters. This is a DK or light worsted yarn weight with a recommended hook and needle size 4.5 to 5.5, and it is machine washable at low to medium temperature, so easy to take care of. Many of you will know that this is one of my favorite yarns, simply for the reason that my very, very favorite pattern in the whole world is made in this yarn. Matt, can you pull it up? Please,
Wait,
please introduce, may I introduce you to Wizard Owl. Ladies and gentlemen, Wizard Owl.
Wow.
It is a amazing pattern for a cute little knitted plushie. This is Wizard Owl. He is my favorite. He brings me nothing but joy. It's a little owl that is a wizard that you can make different outfits for. The outfits in this one are made in Amigo XL, but you can of course adjust whatever you want. The body of the owl though is made in Tweet Dreams, and it is just so sweet. So cute, so adorbs. I am obsessed.
Build your own owl, basically.
Yeah.
It can be a football owl. It can be DiCaprio owl. It can be Valentine's owl.
Yeah. Henrietta in the chat is saying that she is currently working with Tweet Dreams. It is a lovely yarn with many wonderful applications. You can make awesome clothing out of it. You can make beautiful accessories, hats, anything you want to give that little bit of sort of a tweedy look to, but you don't want the sort of loose bits of material. You just want it on a little print yarn. But you could also make the Wizard Owl, is all I'm saying. All those of you who've watched for a long time will know of my long-term obsession with this little guy, but this is just absolutely one of my all-time favorite patterns. We do have some other great patterns for this yarn. One of them is this super cute crochet sweater. This is the Vivian jumper or Vivian sweater. It's beginner friendly. It comes in sizes up to 5XL, and it is a really cute little sweater pattern as well. So there are other things you can make out of this yarn that's not just Wizard Owl. And Melissa's saying, ooh, I didn't know Wizard Owl was knitted. Yes, that's what I always think. That was the first time I ever put him on the show. That was actually why, because I wanted to show an example of you do not need to know how to crochet if you want to make like amigurumis or plushies, because a lot of time people just kind of assume that they're cut off from that if they don't know how to crochet. But this little guy is knitted. He is, of course, because with knitting you quite often get that, you don't really get that super, super sturdy, knotted, structured texture that you would get with crochet. So he is a little bit more of like a squishy plushie, I imagine, but I just think it's really, really cool that you have that option if you want to knit a cute little plushie. Wizard Owl is right there for you. And then, of course, you can make him many, many different cute little outfits. You can make seasonal outfits if you want. So, super lovely pattern. And speaking of super, super lovely things, Matt's showing you the color palette for Tweet Dreams real quick, and I'm going to then move on to our next yarn, which is Tea Time, which is also very, very lovely.
Amanda's doing owl puns of names.
Yeah. Who?
Who?
You know the
Yeah,
like I think someone I think one of us is just an owl pretending to be human.
Who? Classic.
There's 3 owls in a trench coat. Tea Time.
Tea Time.
Tea Time, another 100% acrylic yarn. This one, again, a really cool, interesting color effect, slightly different. This one gives you very lovely, gentle changing stripes of color. And as you can see, it's never quite solid colored. There's always a little bit of variegation going on. So you're going to have these really, really soft changes between the different colors, and it's all going to still look quite harmonious even when you have a lot of different colors. We do have the more kind of monochromatic options as well with this yarn. One of these gives you 630 yards of super soft acrylic. And as you could see when I showed it on the small cam, the texture of it is sometimes a little bit varied because it is sometimes spun a lot looser and then sometimes a lot tighter, meaning you will get variation in the thickness of the thread as you work with it. Gives it a little bit of that slightly more organic look, slightly more handmade, slightly more rustic texture. So just be advised, if that's not your thing, this yarn might not be the perfect choice for you. But if you love to have that kind of handmade rustic feel to your projects, this yarn does it beautifully, as well as beautiful, beautiful color changes. We do have some lovely patterns that you can make with this. This first one is the Aura Vibes Poncho pattern, which I think looks absolutely stunning. This is an intermediate level crochet pattern. Again, you can see it's modular. It's made out of squares that you then attach to each other. So you could turn that into a different idea if you want to, but I just think it's so, so cute, and I think the color looks super gorgeous. One thing I love about color changing yarns, whether it is something like Tea Time that has a more sort of randomized color change to it, or something like our more striped yarns, I always love that it allows you to work on a project like, for instance, a granny square or a hexagon cardigan with loads of lovely color changes and 0 ends to weave in. So that's one great thing about these yarns. Matt just showed you the full color palette, and we also have a second pattern. This one, another beautiful crochet pattern. This is the Romance Shawl pattern. This super cute, very kind of lacy, circular or semicircular shawl with these super cute little flowers crocheted and attached, which I think just looks absolutely gorgeous. So this is the Romance Shawl, which is another intermediate level crochet pattern, and you can see these cute little flowers that are attached to it, which I think is lovely. All of these patterns that I showed you, like I said, they're all available for free on our website. And if you can't find the landing page, like if you're not getting the link, do not worry, you can also just look up the yarn on the website directly, and then you'll find the patterns linked underneath. So you can just check them out there. So this was Tea Time, which is 40% off with our code HAPPY40, as is our Tweet Dreams. Both of these yarns 40% off if you use the code HAPPY40 for the next 23 hours. Could you get me some more water, Matt?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Still?
Yes, please. Yeah, I can't drink too much sparkling water on the stream or I'm going to keep burping, which I'm trying to avoid.
Felt like the 90-year-old birthday thing, you know, like, can I have some water?
Oh, yeah, like, we'll have white wine with the fish.
Skål.
Skål. I did not know that that was popular in Denmark, by the way. I thought that was only Germans. I don't know if you're aware of this. This is I thought just German tradition, but apparently it's also a Danish tradition. On New Year's Eve, there is this really, really old, really old, but oldish sketch. It's a British sketch, I think, originally, but it became massively popular in Germany, and it's called Dinner for One, the 90th birthday. And it's about this woman celebrating her 90th birthday with her 4 best friends. Except all of her 4 best friends have passed away because she's turning 90, which is a sad reality of getting old. And so her butler has to stand in for them. So every time there's a new course of the meal, there's a new drink, which means that she drinks 1 drink per course, so like 5 drinks throughout the evening. Her butler drinks 4 times that because he has to stand in for all of her friends and serve. And there's a tiger rug, and it is hilarious. And every German watches it. Not every, but pretty much everyone in Germany watches it on New Year's Eve because a repeating punchline is that he always asks her same procedure as last year, and she looks at him and says same procedure as every year.
Same procedure as last year, Miss Louisa?
Same procedure as every year, James. That's
Matthias.
Well,
case. I'm not James,
you
actually.
know.
Like it was a really good impression.
It was
but
good up until then, but you also did not. There was no tiger rug for you to stumble over.
True.
So
Yeah.
anyway, fun facts about in Norway it has to be shown on December 23rd. Oh, that's interesting. And in Sweden, says Cecilia. Cool. Like, I didn't know that. I've lived in Sweden for quite a while, but somehow that has passed me by. It is really silly, but it's really, really funny. Also, when you're sort of at the appropriate age, you will eventually be at a party where someone decides to turn it into a drinking game, where the idea is when the butler drinks, you drink. And can I recommend? Don't do it. I love how many people are watching and saying like, oh yeah, I love Dinner for One. I love Dinner for One. Yeah, I guess it's a very like German, Northern European thing, Scandian German thing. But yeah, it's 15 minutes or something. Like you can look it up. It's on YouTube. Like I've watched it on YouTube before if like me and my friends wanted to watch it. But yeah, and it is English, but I guess never found like mainstream success there, but somehow people picked it up and went like, yeah, this is going to be our New Year's tradition from now on out. All right, I'm holding the wrong yarn. Matt, why didn't you say anything? Next up, I have another super fuzzy, fluffy yarn for you, except now it's completely different because the next thing I have for you is our Baby Snuggle Solid, which is a chenille yarn. It's 100% polyester. And as all chenille yarns, it is made from a thin strand of yarn that then has these fibers stuck through it, and they're sticking out in all directions. So where an eyelash yarn would only have them sticking out in one direction, a chenille yarn has them sticking out in all directions, giving it this super soft, super lovely, velvety texture. Baby Snuggle Solid is made from 100% polyester. It is machine washable at medium temperature. The recommended hook or needle size is somewhere in the realm of a 6mm. It is important to note that when you're working with these kinds of chenille yarns, depending on the structure you want your finished project to have, there is a lot of leeway with figuring out the hook or needle size. So I've worked with these yarns with anything from a 5.5 to a 10mm hook or needle. Hook in my case. I've never knitted with this, I'll be very honest. Depending on what I'm making. If I'm making an amigurumi or a plushie, anything that needs to be stuffed, I go way down in my needle size to make sure that my stitches go really, really nice and tight so that there's no gaps for the filling to escape from, but also just so that the structure actually works up really nicely. If you are wanting to make something like clothing out of this yarn, which you can also do, then you can go up in hook size or needle size, because then you want that slightly flowier texture. So depending on what your end goal is with your project, the pattern will usually also give you some guidance, but it's just good to know that while the recommendation says 6 to 7 millimeters, always work with what you actually want to make a thing. Oh, Gina's saying it's actually a German sketch. I didn't know that. So I always thought it was from England, but I found it in 2024 that it's from Germany.
I mean,
That's interesting.
It does have German language all over it at the end of it.
Yeah, but I had assumed that had been added.
Yeah, same.
I had assumed that like, there's also an introduction to it, but I had assumed that the introduction had been added retroactively to the sketch for German broadcast.
But apparently not.
Maybe not.
Yeah, apparently not.
Very, very kind of ahead of its time then to do an English sketch and just not put it on. I'm not even sure if it's subtitled.
I think also the actors are English, right?
I assumed
they don't sound
were.
very German in any way.
I assumed they were.
I think they are.
Manuela is saying, is it much thinner than Toucan or Honey Bunny? So Baby Snuggle and Honey Bunny are very, very similar. You can use those together. You can use them at the same time, and you will not notice a big difference. The bigger difference is between this and Toucan, in my opinion, and it's not about the weight. The weight, they're all pretty much the same weight, same recommended hook or needle size. It's just that the surface of these is a little kind of fluffier, and Toucan, in my opinion, is a little bit denser. So I actually, like, Toucan is my holy grail chenille yarn personally, but I know that these are super popular because they're a little bit softer. So that, to me, is the bigger difference here. So in terms of weight, they're all compatible. This and Honey Bunny go together beautifully. This and Toucan, I think, are just a little bit different in how the surface, how dense the surface is, kind of. So I hope that helps. So this is Baby Snuggle Solid, and we do, of course, have two super cute patterns to give you some ideas on what you can make with it. The first one is this crochet pattern. It is a giant pencil. You've heard of the giant carrot, which is another pattern that I love, but now get ready for the giant pencil, which I think is just so cute. I kept thinking that this would make such a sweet gift to maybe a kid starting school. You could maybe also, if you wanted to make something similar but in smaller, but just, you know, whatever the favorite color of that child is, you could make it as like a colored pencil instead. I just think this is such a sweet idea. So that was the giant pencil. The pattern is literally just called what it is, and it is beginner friendly crochet pattern. And then we have this one, which is another knitted toy pattern. Again, I wanted to include some of those because I know that sometimes for knitters it's a little bit more limiting in terms of making plushies, etc. This is the Cuddle Goose soft toy pattern, which is a super sweet little cuddly goose pattern. So that are two beautiful patterns and two ideas on what you can make with our Baby Snuggle Solid, which is 40% off right now if you use our code HAPPY40. The next three yarns I have for you are our final three, and they are our wool/wool blend yarns. So we've got for you our Winter Glow Solid, we've got Unicorn Solid, and we've got our relatively new Merino Care. So these are the yarns that we have, the final three, before we get to the second giveaway. Let's start with Winter Glow Solid, which I know many of you know and love. It was part of our Be Your Own Star Cal, which was last year's. It was, yeah, and is a gorgeous blend of 51% wool and 49% acrylic. You get 380 yards on one of these, and as you can see, again, similar to Tea Time, it has this slightly more rustic variation in thickness. If you are looking for a wool blend that feels really nice and soft but still has a little bit of that woolly coarseness on the surface, this yarn is for you. I do have a lot of my friends who are slightly more sensitive when it comes to wool yarns who have reported that they really like this yarn, so if you're a bit more sensitive, maybe this could be a good choice for you. I personally think it is super, super squishy and soft. It also flats decently, I would say, Matt.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's like a 5.
5 out of 10 flats. So yeah, just a lovely, lovely yarn. It is a light or DK or light worsted weight yarn with a recommended hook or needle size of a 4.5 to 5.5 millimeter.
Wait, are you a yarn from Hobbii that is 51% wool and 49% acrylic because you have a winter glow?
That is funny. Good job, Matt. Good job, Matt.
It's just stupid. I'll leave.
Yeah, stop because you keep distracting me as well. Like I was like, oh, I'm not going on that many tangents today, but then like can we all agree that it is Matt's fault? Can we all agree that today we can #blame Matt?
Blame Matt.
Marianne is saying, I would love to try this, but I am worried about it irritating me because of the wool. I can understand that. So I would say that in terms of woolly yarns, you can definitely tell that there's wool in this. It does have that slightly more coarse surface that you get from wool. I personally find it 0% itchy, but I'm also not very sensitive to these things. So anyone could, if any of you want to give any commentary on this, if you too are a little bit more sensitive, I think that would be greatly appreciated. Because like I said, I've gotten feedback from friends that this is great. Friends that I know struggle with kind of more sensitive skin, especially around their neck. But just making sure. Lisa saying, what is flat? Matt has started this thing called Will It Flat, where he just takes yarns and finds out if you can squish them flat, and then he ranks them just based on his own list of how flat he thinks it is. So that's what Will It Flat is. So Winter Glow Solid is part of today's deal. It has a gorgeous color palette with a lot of beautiful, beautiful choices. Matt is showing that to you right now. Great for winter clothing, great for winter accessories, great for honestly all year round clothing and accessories. And if this is a 5 out of 10, Wadded Yarn is a 10 out of 10. Will It Flat?
I mean, Diablo's up there.
Diablo, yeah, flats pretty
that
nicely. A lot of those. But Matt can't give too much away because he may want to ask you during the quiz next week on Thursday.
It might be a 6. It might be a 6. Winter Glow. Yeah,
I also just realized that in my head I wasn't even sure, like, which is super stupid, of like in terms of like will it flat, and I was like, this is a 1 out of 10, and then my brain just went, well, 1 is really, really small, so 1 is like super flat. Which it's not. That's not how the scale works.
Right.
The next yarn I have for you is Unicorn Solid. So we had Winter Glow Solid, and now we have Unicorn Solid. All the solids are here today. I mean, just look at this. Look at this little unicorn. It's saying, buy yarn! Yay! Unicorn Solid is a sock weight yarn. Classic sock blend, 75% merino wool, 25% polyamide. The polyamide is added because that way you have a little bit more durability, a little bit more elasticity, which is great if you want to actually turn this into a sock. Because of course, as you're wearing the socks, and especially if you're walking on them, they can get kind of walked through quite quickly. So the polyamide is there to give it a little bit of extra sturdiness and durability. One of these hanks has 435 yards of yarn on it. One of these can get you a pair of socks up to roughly a US size 8.5. Women's, I think that is. If you have bigger feet like myself, double up, get yourself a second hank. Also, do not try to work from the hank. Please, please, please do yourself the favor to unwind it, wind it into a cake. You can use a yarn swift, but you can also just, use someone's hands or the back of a chair. But just do yourself the favor, don't try to work straight from the hank. Holly's saying, I like Winter Glow, but you can definitely tell by feel that there is a lot of wool in it. Yeah, I agree. It definitely feels woolly. And then the question is, how woolly can a yarn be until it becomes like irritating to someone's skin? And that sadly is just very, very subjective. So hard to say. Someone is asking if Hank's flat. I think with Hank's you have a harder time flatting it because
that's a 2 or 1, I think.
I mean, the thing is, it's already quite flat.
Yeah.
You know, that's the problem.
Yeah, but with the flat
This.
scale is how does the skein itself flat, and that doesn't flat at all.
No, that doesn't flat a lot.
No.
I mean, it's because it's already quite flat.
No.
Would unicorn also be good for mittens, is a question from Georgina. Yes, it 100% would. So unicorn solid is 75% merino wool. And while it is a sock blend and it is a sock weight yarn, I always like to say that this is one of those yarns where I kind of think it's almost too good to be just used for socks. Like, do not let that limit your creativity or your imagination on what you can make with this yarn. This is excellent for any kind of cozy accessory. This is excellent for any kind of clothing. I've made scarves out of this and headbands. They've been a great hit. You could turn this into sweaters, t-shirts, blouses, anything. Merino wool is such a gorgeous material. If you like being outdoors, even in the summer months, I'll take merino clothes hiking with me because they're great. They can wick up a lot of moisture from your body, so a lot of sweat, and then help keep you feeling sort of dry and cool for a longer time. I mean, to be fair, I do predominantly hike in kind of colder places, I guess, like Scotland or Sweden, where even in the summer months, you cannot go wrong with some merino on you, but it is a brilliant material for that. You can wash this in the wool program of your washing machine. We do recommend that you use a wool detergent for it though. And it is just so, so beautiful. Miriam's asking if we could add a Yarn Swift to live shopping. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. That is an excellent question. I will keep that in mind for a future stream. We do sometimes also do accessories. We don't just do yarn. This week it's just 12 yarns, but it always changes a little bit. So this is Unicorn Solid, and then the final yarn that I have for you today is another 100% merino yarn. So this is an excellent option, including if you want to make socks. This one I wouldn't recommend for socks, but anything else you want to make, I would recommend. This is our Merino Care. Merino Care is a 100% merino wool yarn. It is a DK or light worsted weight yarn with a recommended hook or needle size of a 4 to 5 millimeters. And I bought a lot of this yarn before Christmas and made some cute projects with it. Actually, the only project, well, no, one of the two projects I finished was a beanie that I made for my friend out of this. Now trying to think, I don't have my phone on me, but also I don't know if I have a picture of the beanie. It was like a checkered design. It turned out pretty cool. It was just a lot of work with the color changes. So I will definitely keep that in mind for future projects, that I don't like changing colors, okay? It's a lot of work, and then you have to figure out how to hide either like if you carry the yarn with you, but then you use a lot more yarn, or if you don't, but then you end up with a lot of ends to weave in. But still, made a beanie out of this. Already heard back from my friend that it is very, very nice and soft, very, very nice and cozy, and very, very nice and feels good on the skin. So I got that feedback very, very quickly. So glad to report 100% merino yarn, very, very lovely on the skin. Out of our merinos, I would argue that this is slightly rougher compared to, for instance, our extra fine merino. So again, depending on how sensitive you are, it's just good to know that I would say that this is still a very nice and soft yarn, maybe not as soft as our friend's merino. You get 120 yards on one of these skeins, and like I said, worked up really beautifully, and the colors are super vibrant and super cozy. So this is our Merino Care, which is this the beanie I finished in front of the recipient? No. So I finished the kerchief I finished in front of the recipient. The beanie I finished, I actually already finished early December. So this one was actually the only Christmas present that I was way, way ahead of schedule on. I was going to make the same recipient a second beanie, and that second beanie has not happened. So I again kind of failed on that. Cozy just was saying, like, the great fiber crafter dilemma, to float or to weave. I know. And the problem is too with if you decide to float it, especially with something like the beanie because it was ribbed. I then find that if I used this color, and then I used a lighter, it wasn't quite this color, it was a lighter kind of greenish blue, like a light, very light sort of turquoise. But I used those two together, and you would have seen this color peek through so much, and then that bothers me. And so, yeah. It's the... yeah, and Deborah's saying, I carry both yarns for a few inches and then cut it, nothing to weave in. I kind of tried to do the same thing, actually, and sometimes I succeeded more than other times. But yeah, it is a big dilemma. And also, I was working off a pattern, kind of, that I'd found online, but also I made modifications to the pattern, which I kind of have to admit, I'm probably not at a skill level yet where I can just willy-nilly make changes to patterns, but I did, and I mean, we'll see how well the beanie holds up, I guess. But yeah, this is Merino Care, and I can at least confirm that it is a lot of fun to work with. I would say if you're looking for something super, super soft, this is not the softest merino that we have. I would say that the Friends Merino takes that. I would say that the colors on this are just absolutely gorgeous and really vibrant and really fun. I do have some pictures I want to show you, and these are projects that were made with the 3 yarns I just showed you. So Unicorn Solid, Winter Glow Solid, and we have one project with Merino Care already in the user gallery, since Merino Care was relatively new. So just to give you some ideas on what you can make with these yarns, here are some projects uploaded by y'all into the user gallery.
Nobody has arms that thin. How are we going to fit in that?
It stretches.
No.
Will it stretch?
Will it stretch?
Will it stretch is the next category that Matt's gonna start with.
No, but that is like, a health risk if you're that thin.
Oh yeah, but I was thinking like if you stretch it over, and I was like, well, it kind of like it becomes a compression sleeve, which
True, actually, yeah.
might not be a bad idea for like if you need it.
Yeah, for like circulation. Yeah, I mean that could work. That could work. Roxanne.
Have you seen the video where someone just cuts it to just say rocks, and it's just someone filming like in a national park?
Hank be like, it's minerals.
So those are just some beautiful ideas on what you could make out of our Merino Care, our newest merino yarn, our Unicorn Solid, our merino sock blend, and our Winter Glow Solid, a gorgeous wool and acrylic blend. These 3 yarns, as well as all the others I showed you, 40% off with our code HAPPY40 for another 23.5 hours. So go and treat yourself to some yarns if you're in the mood. And yeah. With that, I think we have reached almost the end of the stream. Thank you so much for all of you for sticking around for this long. We're going to have our second giveaway in a second, where we will find the second winner of a gift card worth $50 or equivalent in your local currency. And so get ready to get going on the chat, because I will now ask you to once again type our secret code word in the chat, which is #giveaway. #giveaway is the second code you need to put in the chat right now. You can participate on Facebook and on YouTube for a chance to win a gift card worth $50. 50 monies. And while you're doing that, I just remembered that there is something I wanted to tell you about, which is our live calendar. You've probably heard this mentioned during bingo. It is also going to be in a follow-up message that you get sent on Messenger. But just to tell you about it a little bit, Jaya has come up with this pretty genius idea, which is a live calendar that you can add to your calendar. So if you use an online calendar, whether that's on your phone or on your computer, you can actually subscribe to a Hobbii calendar, and that works on what's the iCalendar? Is that what it's called on iPhone?
I don't use iPhone.
It works on Google Calendar. It works on Outlook. So it works on all the different types of online calendars. So whichever one you use, it's probably compatible. If you want, you can type calendar 1 in the chat. So just the word calendar followed straight by the number 1. and you'll get a message sent to you, or you should get a message sent to you with the sign up link. It is also in the follow-up message that we're sending out on Facebook. So just for you to know, we have this cool calendar. It's also linked in our bingo email. If you want to make sure that you never miss out on a live stream again, you can add that to your calendar and then you'll be informed. And I know that Jaya is also adding some other little treats to it and some little things to, keep you updated on what is happening.
What if there's like a sudden live out of nowhere, like not a scheduled one, but like just a random. Could that also happen on the calendar? For instance,
maybe? we could if it's not, let's just grab a phone and go live. Like if there is an event, then sure, yeah, pretty much anything. So that way you don't, Erica's saying, I love the live calendar now. I don't have to create those events in my calendar. I mean, first of all, I'm deeply honored that you've already added our live events to your calendar anyway. But yeah, it's just to make it a little bit easier and also just as a cool way for you to make sure you never miss out. Because we have had some info that some of the messages we're sending out are not being received necessarily by everyone. And so just to make sure that you're always up to date on what the live team is brewing, you can add the Hobbii calendar to your calendar now. And now we're going to find our winner. And we found them on YouTube. It is at Civility. Congratulations. You are winner number 2. Numéro 2. Congratulations at Civility. You can get your 50 Monies gift card by sending us an email to live@hobbii.com. And please be aware that you should include which country it is that you're shopping from so that we can make sure that your gift card actually works for where it is that you are shopping from. So congratulations to our second winner. If you want to add the calendar to your calendar, if you want to add our live calendar, on Facebook, you can write calendar 1 on the chat. On YouTube, sadly, we can't link it there for you, but if you do receive our bingo email, check the bingo email because there is a link to the calendar in it as well. So that way you can work with that. Jack's saying the live calendar is great. It gave me a reminder about an hour before.
There you go. That works.
Excellent. So yeah, if you want to check that out, calendar 1 in the chat should get you a link to your inbox. Hopefully. Again, we know that sometimes it doesn't work 100% on Facebook with the messages we're trying to send, but yeah. In that calendar, you're going to find Thursday's quiz time linked, which is happening quiz time, same time as live shopping, same time as bingo on Thursdays with the wonderful Matthias.
Whoop, whoop. And you will see a live Will It Flats quiz.
And there will be a live Will It Flat quiz with Matt. Mm-hmm. So join him for that, and I'll be back next week with more deals, more inspiration, and more random tangents for our live shopping. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Take care, and see you very soon. Bye!
Bye!